Hey guys, welcome to another edition of the Pigskin podcast. I'm Noah Jones, joined as always by Curt J. Conrad. We are both reporters for Richland Source, which is awesome that we get to do this podcast through them. You can follow us through Twitter during the football season at I'm NoJo15, and he is Curt J. Conrad. We are joined today by Cade Stover, who is a Lexington football stud. He is on Twitter as well, and his Twitter handle is CStove8. That's CSTOV8. And we are just so excited to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. You want to get us rolling, Curt?
Yeah. And before we get going, thanks again. You guys have really turned out for us the last couple weeks. We are a kind of a startup, and we didn't know what to expect, but the support has been great. We certainly appreciate it. Last week we had Jornell Mans from Mansfield Senior on, who's committed to the University of Minnesota, and this week we have a guy who is one of the most sought after players in the country. No, I think I don't know where else we can go. We're 2 for 2 with 2 home runs, I guess, with our guests so far. But I don't know where we can go from here. But Cade, again, thanks for joining us. We certainly appreciate it. And before we talk football, let's talk a little bit about farming. I understand your parents or your father owns a farm. Just tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, yeah, we have a farm right outside Lexington, Johnsville, Ohio. I don't know, probably 120 head of cows, probably, with a couple pigs, chickens, everything. And
how many acres you guys got?
I don't know, we farm probably 300, 200 acres.
Now, I mean, just poking around, it looks like you guys have a couple of stores that you sell.
Yeah, we got a butcher shop right there in Mansfield on Mansfield-Lucas Road, and we have another one in Powell, Columbus area, down Sawmill Parkway.
That's a great place to be. That's one of the biggest growing places in the.
Yeah.
I think Olentangy is building a 4th Division I high school there.
Yeah,
so there's certainly plenty of population down there. But I mean, just tell us a little bit of what are your responsibilities? What time does the alarm go off in the morning, and what all do you got to do?
I mean, a lot of in the summer and stuff, I'll get up and like do chores and everything, feed the cows. And like during school times, Dad usually takes it over, like so I can sleep in for school and stuff. So he does. I mean, he gets up and does that. He'll get up at 4:45 and feed the cows and then go to work. So
yeah,
I was gonna say, I remember the first time that I saw you in person. You were at Lexington Elementary School reading to the kids. I don't know if you remember this day, but you were telling them how you had to do all your jobs, and it just seemed interesting. I wanted to know if you still like work out in a weight room, or if you just lift bales of hay.
No, I still definitely work out in the weight room a lot, but bales also are a big contributor to it.
Gotcha.
And I mean, I don't know how closely you follow that sort of stuff, but it seems to me like a lot of people are interested in finding out where their food comes from nowadays. I mean, it's kind of, I mean, to have a butcher shop and it's locally sourced. I mean, are people interested in that? I mean,
oh my gosh, it's like all our meat. I mean, it's non-hormonal. No hormones are involved. It's all natural. Everything we feed them, we grow. The corn, the hay, the oats, everything comes from our farm itself.
That's very cool. And let's just talk a little bit about your father, Trevor. He's a former football player himself. Just tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's who. I mean, that's who you strive to be like. I mean, just like everybody does. Your dad. And you just always want to. He was he came out of high school as a quarterback. Went to BG as a quarterback. Ended up being the tight end coming out of there. And I mean, in my opinion, he was pretty good. But I don't know, a lot of people probably wasn't. But
we found this article from the my first newspaper, the BG News. Has your dad as the featured football performer after a game where they played Mizzou and won. It's got to sort of just be like football runs in your blood at this point, right?
Yeah.
How much does it help to have a dad who is able to sort of talk from a Division I school standard to teach you?
He teaches me. I mean, that's what. If without him, I'm nowhere close to what I am today. It's just he knows he's so knowledgeable about the game, and I mean he teaches. I mean, that's the reason. I mean, that he teaches toughness. I mean, that's what, and I've been taught it since you were younger, and just, I mean, that's what you strive to be like as your dad.
Here's a picture of it for those of you who are, following along on our YouTube channel. There he is. It was the early '90s, and actually, your dad was a college teammate of Chioke Bradley, the head coach down the street here at Mansfield Senior.
Yeah.
And they continue to be pretty good friends. Or?
Yeah, they still talk a lot.
That's very cool. Well, I mean, what has he told you about his career? Does he talk much about his career?
No, he's never. I mean, he's not much of a. He'd be the last person to talk about himself. But I like to. I mean, I like to ask him and stuff. I mean, he was, he's a big dude in college and stuff, and he's the weight room. He just preaches weight room is the biggest part of what you're going to do. So I'm just going to keep living by that.
I was poking around. He was an all Mid-American Conference pick in 1994. 16 catches, 259 yards, 3 touchdowns. Yeah, that's got to be pretty cool. I mean, even though we don't talk about it a lot,
yeah, no, I love it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, just talking before we get into football, you're also a pretty darn good basketball player. I mean, is football clearly your favorite sport? I mean, do you love football more than basketball, or how's that?
I mean, to be honest, it's ever in season.
Yeah.
Playing basketball, I love playing basketball. Playing football, I love playing football. Just football's probably going to take me to the next level.
Sure. I think the first time I saw you playing football was week 2 of your freshman year. It was at Shelby, and you outjumped a cornerback in the end zone for a touchdown pass. And I remember looking at the roster, I thought, a freshman who's 6'5", that's not something you see very often. I mean, did you ever, in your wildest dreams, think that you would come in and contribute as much as you did, as quickly as you did?
I mean, I thought, you knew, like you told yourself that you might, but never once did you think you get the chance to do it, no.
And then I think that freshman year, you led the Ohio Cardinal Conference in tackles. I mean, to come in and have like 100 tackles. I mean, is there I don't know, what was that like? I mean, after the end of that year, I mean, did you think, man, this is?
Yeah, after that, I mean, after week 1, after you get to start week 1 and you win. I mean, from when I was in 8th grade, they went 0-10 that year. So we come back and we win the first game, and you feel like you're a part of that. You're like, that's a big feeling. And then after that, it was just bittersweet.
You guys won the first 5 games?
Yeah,
right?
and then we started getting stomped on a little bit.
But that kind of set the stage, I think, for last year. I mean, you guys, actually last year you started out 1-2.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you guys came to life.
And we started out a lot like we're starting out right now.
But I mean, last year to reach a regional championship game. I mean, what is that whole experience like? I mean, was the community right behind you that whole time?
Yeah, but that really, the game you remember, this was the first game. It was against Clyde, overtime.
Right.
2-point conversion. It came down to 2-point conversion. We could have kicked the field goal to tie it, but we went for the 2-point conversion. If we didn't get it, we lose.
Right.
And we got it, and that was just that was the most emotional night of my life. There's no other about it.
And then that following week, you guys played Sandusky and Bellevue, and that was a great game too.
Yeah.
And then week 3, the regional championship game. Week 3 of the postseason, I should say, regional championship game. You guys played Toledo Central Catholic, a perennial powerhouse.
Yep.
They had one of the best backs in state history, Michael Warren, who went on to win Mr. Football. I mean, just what do you remember about that name? I mean, aside from the fact that it was really snowy at Griffin.
Just going out, and it was, freezing cold, but just that Michael Warren's a great ball player, and they had the good defensive end. His last name was Hudson or something, I think. But it was good. I mean, it's just you prepare for that game. Like the couple weeks before, we're watching clips of these guys play. You're like, oh God, these guys are good. So then you just go play them, and then once you get out there and go, you're like, we're right with these guys. So.
We gave you a pretty big compliment after the game right here. He said that he'd never been hit by a single person as hard as you hit him. That's got to be quite the compliment.
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Football has an awful lot of praise.
Yeah.
And he's a guy who's at Cincinnati, I think. He originally committed to, I think, Toledo. And then he changed, and he's at Cincinnati. He had a few yards, I think, in his opening game this past weekend. So that's got to be pretty cool.
Yeah, no, he's a good ball. He's a good ball. I'll probably see him again one day, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just talk a little bit about recruiting. I mean, it's I would imagine it's got to be crazy. When was the first time, or what was the first offer you got? Were you still a freshman?
I got it at the end of my sophomore year. I got it.
And who was it?
Miami of Ohio.
Okay. And then not long after that, some pretty heavy hitters jumped on board there. I mean, what's it like?
Just once you got your film out there to people, and people started seeing, and like they come to see you in real life and see what you're all about and stuff, and they really.
Last week, Jornell was talking about his Minnesota recruit and how he just felt like such a celebrity. How every coach knew his first and last name, and I just envision it being the coolest moment of your life. You're getting it from all these major schools.
It's almost surreal. Like you dream, just like when you're young, you're like, God, if I had that, it'd be so awesome and stuff. And now, like sometimes you tend to forget about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, but it only comes once, so you're just trying to enjoy it.
And you've had Ohio State probably like a dream school, or at least the school you've watched every Saturday for your whole life, I'm sure. So that's got to just be a fantastic feeling as well.
That's legit family down there.
Yeah.
I talked to you shortly after, and you told me a story just about, what it's like. I mean, just, you're sitting there with Urban Meyer, and, he's the guy who offers you a scholarship. It's got to be kind of hard to wrap your head around.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, but James Franklin, Coach Riley down in Oklahoma, everybody's just, they know me. They're asking about the farm. Like, I just get a random text saying, what are you doing today? You working today? And it's just stuff that makes you feel like they're not just recruiting you for football. You know what I mean? They're going to take care of you, and they're going to be there with you through the whole thing.
Right.
Are you going down for a visit this weekend, or?
Yeah, I'm going to go watch the game down there.
Okay, cool.
That's against Oklahoma, a team
yeah.
also was offered it. Now, I would imagine you're a guest of Ohio State this week. Well, I mean, I understand September 1st is a pretty big day in terms of the college football recruiting calendar. I mean, what happens on that day? And just tell us that story. It sounds like your phone was blowing up.
Yeah, I actually woke up with 92 text messages.
I hope you're a heavy sleeper.
Yeah, no, I had my sound off. So.
That's the first day that they can contact you? Or?
Yeah, that's the first day they can text me. So they're not all. I had like multiple different schools text me 6 and 7 pictures and stuff, and like really neat stuff. So it was neat. It was neat to show them like schools I've never really talked to a whole lot before, showing interest and stuff. And it was cool.
Do you have 82 text messages? Is that what? 92?
Yeah. I had like 10 unread before that night, but they were just from other people.
Right. How long did it take you to get to the last text message?
Oh, God, I don't remember.
That could take hours to wait through.
Yeah.
Last year, I think, a kind of an interesting story. I was covering a basketball game at Lexington. It was Madison was at Lexington. And Madison at the time, Tyrell Asian played for Madison, who was a recruit at the University of Kentucky. And Kentucky's recruiting coordinator was there. Vince Merrill, I believe, was his name. He was there to see Tyrell. And before the game, I was sitting beside him talking, and he said, "What do you know about the Lexington sophomore?" And I said, you're not going to be able to miss him when he's out there. He's the most athletic guy on the floor. And so, after he watched the game, and I was doing my thing. And then after the game, he came up to me and he said, We're prepared to offer him a scholarship right now. I mean, I don't think he's probably ever seen you play a down of football. He was just ready to go just by what you were doing in that basketball game. I think you had 25 points, 11 out of 13. I mean, that's just got to be so crazy to have that happen to you. It's got to be really exciting.
No, it's awesome. Yeah, I love it. That guy, he was a great guy, but I think we ended up losing that game. But he hit that buzzer beater.
Tyrell hit a buzzer beater, a three-pointer. So I think Vince Merrill went home happy. He knew that he was getting a good athlete in Tyrell, and he had another opportunity there. So, well, let's just talk a little bit about, playing quarterback this year. You kind of taken over that responsibility. Were you ever a quarterback at any point during your career?
I was a little bit in junior high.
Oh, okay.
Just, every once in a while, we had 3 guys that we ran that wing tee, so we all just flop around.
Right. I would imagine it's a little bit more complex.
Yeah, not quite junior high football anymore.
Right. Is it just how big of a adjustment is it? I guess you have to know where every player is on the field at all times.
It's quarterback, I guess, but it's just a whole different side. A whole different side of the ball you're seeing, and a different thing you got to learn. And it was nice. It was a good change up. I thought we're young, lost a lot of weapons last year.
Right.
So
do you enjoy the responsibility that?
Yeah, I love playing quarterback. I think it's a good time.
I covered the game last week, and I think you got credited for 27 tackles. And a lot of times coaches send in stats and they're padded. I think you accounted for every one of those 27 tackles last week.
No, we don't really mess. Yeah, Coach Schneid's not really big on padding old stats,
right.
So you got to work for him.
Right. And, do you ever? I would imagine. Is there ever a time when you're tired? You play every down of defense. You're the quarterback on offense.
Well, through the off season, there's times after big long runs. That's when you get a little bit winded, but you just gotta come back here and get your breath. But when I don't play any of the special teams or anything. So when I get those off, you grab your breath in, then go back. And so far, I've been pretty. I really haven't been that. I feel well in shape and ready to go.
Right. Now I understand. You're a very good basketball player, obviously a football player. Was there a time when you were a pretty good baseball player too? I understand that there was a time I had heard that you were a baseball player at one point. Let's talk a little bit about that.
We won the state title my 8th grade year.
Wow. What positions were you?
First base, and I hit fourth.
Is that right?
Yeah, never much of a pitcher.
So then you were the best player on that team, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Being the fourth
I
pole
couldn't
hitter.
pitch. Never wanted somebody to hit a batter. I'm the man.
Put
But
me in, coach.
You could throw it hard. You just didn't know where it was going.
yeah, well, I threw it hard, but that's about it.
Have you ever thought about, taking up baseball again or anything like that?
I really have. I mean, if I am, this year might be the year to do it, but I don't. There's no.
Making no promise.
I'll love basketball again. I'll go play AU again, so that'll probably be what happens.
Now, do you have a younger sister who plays basketball too?
Yeah, plays basketball and soccer. I got
it-
2 younger sisters.
What's Gabby?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, she played some varsity last year.
Yeah.
Do you any advice for younger sisters who are athletes?
Younger sisters who are athletes. You got to keep all the guys away, I guess, would be one of them. But no, she's a great athlete. I mean,
Yeah.
I think she gets overlooked a lot, but this year she's playing good ball, so she's a super soccer player. She got captain of sophomore year, so they're playing good so far. We'll see how they do.
Right on. Now, is she getting the attention you are in terms of recruiting yet? I mean, I don't
Not
know.
yet. I don't think I did. My beginning after
Sure.
sophomore years
Sure.
is when everything really just blew up.
Right. Well, I mean, aside from sports, what do you do when you're not playing football or basketball? I mean, are you a video game
Or
guy?
farming.
Or
Or farming. What am I doing? I'm not farming. I'm either, man. I don't know, hang out with a bunch of guys, I guess, girlfriend, everything like that.
Sure.
Go down to my uncle lives in Belleville.
Oh, okay.
Hang out at his house all the time.
I tell you what, they are the Clear Fork Colts.
Yeah,
that was a great win for them last week.
Yeah, they're
I
good.
think they upset Bellevue, I guess it
Yeah.
was, and that's
Another good ball club.
yeah, absolutely.
No, but other than that, other than farming and football, that's about it.
You got a favorite spot for food in the area?
Favorite? Oh, Cheddar's, no
Cheddar's?
doubt.
Okay. Is that the one in Ontario or is
Yep,
there one in
one
Lexington?
Ontario.
Okay.
I don't think there is one out.
I
No,
don't
there's
know.
one in
I
Ontario.
never really venture out to Lexington.
No, Cheddar's is the place.
Yeah.
Cheddar's is the place.
You guys,
You came
I
up
mean,
with that quickly.
Oh yeah.
I mean, 0-2 this year, probably not the start that you would want. I mean, just you guys lost a lot of really talented seniors off that team last
Yeah,
year.
we
I
got
mean, I guess do you take on more of a leadership role this year
Yeah.
since you were one of the
Yeah.
guys who has some experience?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still learning at that too. I guess I've just been able to go out and just. I mean, I worried about me, did my thing, and probably trust everybody else. I'd do theirs, and they've been in the spot for 4 years now.
Sure.
So they had a lot of experience from them. But we got a lot of young kids stepping up now that are just, trying to learn the ropes. And we lost a lot of weapons last year.
Right.
So, but I think once we settle in here and get going, I think we can make a little bit of run of things.
Right. I mean, I was going to ask you. I mean, what are the goals here going forward? I mean, you guys haven't started conference play yet. Excuse me. So I mean, that's still out there for you.
Win your conference right now, I guess. It was an undefeated season, but that's where everybody goes in as. We got to keep plugging away here at it. I mean, there's no time to hang your head on anything. What's over is over.
Right. And I mean, last week was one-sided, but I don't think there's any shame. I think that Shelby team's going to win a lot of football games this year. So there's no shame in getting beat by them. And then even in week 1, I think you guys played really well in the second half. It's understandable that maybe some young guys were a little.
Even me. Everybody gets it's week 1. That's what you prepare 3 months for. That's the game that. But no, Shelby's a great football team. Shelby has what we had last year.
Right.
They got weapons all over the place.
I guess going forward here, do you feel like you guys might be able to challenge for a conference championship, or is that too premature to say?
No, I always think. I go in every game thinking we're going to win the game, whether we're playing the Browns, the Packers, whoever you're going to play. That's just. I think it's just a mindset you got to have when you're playing football.
Sure.
I don't know. What do you look forward to doing in the next game? Do you come into every game with I want to get 30 tackles, or do you just want to make sure that you stop the ball as soon as possible when you're on defense?
I want to win.
Okay.
Whether that's me snapping the ball or playing left guard, wherever it takes, I'm going in there to win. And if that's me making 30 tackles or 3 tackles, whatever it takes.
Okay.
Now you haven't announced anything in terms of a college yet. I don't suppose you probably want to do that on our show this evening. We wouldn't.
But that would be awesome.
But I understand, and we've spoken a little bit, before, and you want to major in agribusiness, is that right?
Yeah, animal science, agribusiness, one of the two.
Right, and pursue a career in farming maybe
Yeah,
afterward?
I just want to take over the farm and
Sure.
one day just have enough ground and do my thing.
Well, would you consider graduating early to get to campus early, or how's that going to?
No, I think our senior year's basketball team that'd be the only thing that would. If it wasn't for that, I would.
Right.
But with that basketball team going there, and I mean, that'll be your last year playing basketball for a long time, so why waste it?
Yeah.
If you're good enough to go there and play, you're good enough to go there and play. Whether you go there in January, then somewhere else. And if you're not, you're not.
Well, good. I think that's everything we had for you. We certainly appreciate you stopping by. It was fun. I hope you had fun.
Yeah, good.
And again, thanks for being here. And that's all for us for week 3. So thanks for tuning in.
Thank you all.
Thank you.